Hello and welcome to Java with Jim. I'm Jim Reese, Director of Business Development at Offit Kurman, joined here today with Colleen McKenna, who is the founder and CEO of Intero Advisory. Colleen, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
All right, Colleen, so tell us about Intero Advisory and how are you different from other firms in a similar line of work?
Great question. Interesting, similar line of work. It's really, we kind of sort of dance in between lots of different kinds of businesses. So we are set up as an advisory around LinkedIn. From business development, recruiting, branding, we help people unlock the power of LinkedIn for those purposes. So how we're different is we only focus on LinkedIn. So we're not a social media firm or agency. We're not a marketing firm, and we kind of fit in this professional development area where we work a lot with companies and individuals so they can really figure out LinkedIn for whatever their business objective is.
And truth be told, I do consider you as the LinkedIn guru. So
I appreciate
let's just get that right out in the open.
Well, I appreciate it. We've been doing it a long time, right?
Yes, you sure have, before it was fashionable.
Yes.
So Colleen, when it comes to Intero Advisory, what are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of the fact that we've actually really adapted. Early on, pre-2011, when I launched Intero Advisory, I saw that there was an opportunity here for business professionals. And I thought, ooh, there's a little bit of a window here. I feel like it's not going to be, people are not going to figure it out on their own, or they're overlooking it. It was really the stepsister in the shadow of so many social media platforms. I really tried to bring it out and to say to people, especially CEOs and leaders, hey, don't look at this as social media. Look at this as a business tool. And when I started to do that, and that's why, hence our tagline, it's business, not social, I could see that their nonverbal would change. They'd be like, okay, well, what do you exactly mean by that? And through the years, since 2011, certainly, LinkedIn is no longer that sort of in the shadows. LinkedIn has emerged. And I was actually noticing today, I was reading something in the Wall Street Journal, and I'm like, wow, even the Wall Street Journal is not writing about LinkedIn as a social media platform. They don't ever include it when they talk about social media and big tech. It's so they kind of push it over here, which I'm grateful for. So what I'm really proud of is that we've adapted with LinkedIn. I feel like we've watched LinkedIn grow up. We've grown up as a result of that as well. And yet we've continued to lead the way in terms of how people think about LinkedIn and how they can really benefit from joining in and understanding how to use LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure. And that leads me to the next question, because certainly the last 2 years have been a real change maker for all of us. So tell me, what do the next 6 months look like for you and Intero Advisory? What's on the plan, on the agenda for you?
Yeah, as it relates to the last couple of years, it was really, really a lot of pivoting for lots of companies. We were already using Zoom. We had been using Zoom for 5 years, so that wasn't an issue for us. It's how we coach and train. But we adapted, right? We continued to adapt as well. For probably leading up to 2020, lots of my workshops were around how to use LinkedIn for recruiting. That totally changed. Then it became business development. Now it's back to recruiting. I just have to say, for us, it's all the same. It's all those best practices so that you stand out on LinkedIn. The other piece that I just want to add that I'm really proud of, we never used automation and got on that bandwagon, if you will. So we are very much purists when we look at LinkedIn. How do you stand out? How do you build a great network that's really strategic? How do you engage so it's thoughtful and people begin to converse with you using LinkedIn? And over the last 2 years, Jim, as you know, there's been a proliferation of automation on LinkedIn. And we've had some people say to us, wow, I can spend half as much, right? Or I can do this a different way. And I'm like, yeah, you could. You're not going to have the same sort of results. So while we've adapted, we still have stayed true to our core values and our philosophy on how to use LinkedIn well. Over the next 6 months, we're continually, again, adapting to how do we teach and train and encourage people to really use LinkedIn in a strategic way. So how we're training is changing a little bit, more on demand, more content related to our online modules that we use and have used in our training. So it's continually watching where LinkedIn's going, watching what's happening in the greater digital landscape, and always trying to provide the services and the opportunities that will best serve our clients.
Awesome, thank you. So in a nutshell, and I know this about you, you definitely prefer authenticity over automation. And
I love that.
I'm right there with you. Colleen, I've known you for a while. I don't know, maybe 10 years, maybe 12 years, something like that. But a lot of people watching you may not know you that well. Tell us something about Colleen McKenna that most people don't know.
Most people probably don't know that, and it dates me a little bit, but I worked for Oprah Winfrey, and I built audiences for her show in Baltimore when she was with People Are Talking, which was the place she was before she really launched in Chicago with the Oprah Winfrey Show. So used to get her lunch, used to build office audiences to come in and watch the show when they were taping in the morning. So I had a very early preview of the brilliance of Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, you did, and I remember those days as well, so I'm dating myself too. Well, Colleen, thanks for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it, and I know the viewers will as well. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon.
Great. Thanks, Jim. Great to
All right.
see you.
Bye.